Okay, yeah, I didn't hit record. Clearly you can tell I haven't done this in a minute. Hi. It's been a while. It's been since like the end of November, beginning of December that I've filmed one of these. Just crazy. I don't know why I feel like I'm out of breath, but hi. I had no intention on filming or starting this back or doing any of this, so I'm really excited to see how this goes. I always kind of planned on coming back in April, and really taking like the full winter to just breathe and rest and reflect on everything that I have done. But life has been insane and not unfolding in the way that I thought. So I kind of wanted to throw a fit and not start this up again. But I got over myself. And by that, I mean I got over myself about 5 minutes ago. I thought that April was going to look a lot different. Now, it does look different, and I'm very grateful for where I am now. But it is vastly different at this point in time than I really thought it was going to look. And a lot of that did have to do with the podcast. And so I was just going to push it back and not start it until the things that I needed to happen. But I can't do that. We are in so much Aries energy right now. And I'm not completely foreign to Aries energy, but I definitely don't feel like I resonate with it a lot. And I have never felt such a fire under my ass ever. And it's in a good way, because I was a little afraid, I got sucked in at a few times where I just felt like so much, like I wanted to do so much, but I had no idea where to start, and I was just very scrambled in my brain, and I had 18 million ideas, and just it was like my brain was just like, sit down, shut up, and just record a podcast episode. Like, you're fine, you literally already started this, just go back to it. And of course my brain was pissed off because I'm not in the setting or the place where I thought I was going to be when I was going to do the season 2 of this. But I gotta get over myself. And also it's gonna be unfolding over season 2. So whatever. Yeah, I think I'm doing a lot of like reflection on goals and dreams and ideas. And this year I kind of set a few, and I normally don't set like definitive concrete goals. Like, I'm very flexible with it because I can get very like OCD about it and really, really, really hard on myself if I don't meet those exact goals on the exact deadline that I set. So I decided a few years ago that setting goals was not really healthy for me. Setting intentions, and like ideal time frames is really good. But this year I was so desperate for change that I was like, this is going to be done by this time, and this is going to be done by this time. And it hasn't really unfolded like that. Exactly. But the original intention behind the goals that I was placing, they're there. And like the little daily steps and the things and the habits that I need to develop and all of that, I feel like I've done a really good job on. But I had certain goals and timelines set in my head, and they have not unfolded yet in the way that I thought they were going to. What was I just listening to? I was just listening to something where somebody was saying, make a plan for the next 30 days. Because I normally don't do things like that. I'm like a 5-year plan person. I'm a zoom out. What are my biggest goals and aspirations in life? And anyways, and this person was going on about how plan, or like not plan, but kind of set your intentions and goals for the next 30 days. Because sometimes you zoom so far out, and we've been told to zoom so far out. I mean, like with schooling and your career and all of this stuff, like where do you want to be in 10 years? And like, all of that stuff. What can you do in the next 30 days that will push you along that path? But like practical, concrete, in the day to day, 30 days, what can you do? And that really was eye-opening for me, because I'm such a zoom out type of person. Like, I have all of these goals and ideas, but like you have to actually do the day-to-day things in order to get there, obviously, duh. I know the things that I want to do. Now it's time to stop being so consumed in like the idea of the dream and the idea of the path, and now you have to actually walk it. It's the most Aries shit I've ever heard. Oh my god, it's so, because there's so many like transitions. We had a lot of planets in Pisces that are now transitioning into Aries, and then this whole month, literally like every fucking planet and their mother is also in Aries. So it's just, there's no room for anything else, and it's all just like, are you gonna do that? Are you going to do what you said you were going to do? Are you actually going to do it? Because you're not doing anything about it. And in your head, you're like, but I am. And I have this dream and I have this goal and I have this vision board. Aries doesn't give a fuck about your vision board. Aries says, how are you going to bring that into your 3D reality? How are you going to like actually start bringing that in? Aries is the beginning. It's like, okay, we've got our dreams. We know what we're going towards. Now you have to actually do something about it. And damn, you know? Fair. And it's also like shattering all of these just like illusions and I don't know. I love Pisces energy. I think I got a little lost in it, if I'm being completely honest, because I love a vision board. I love just go with the flow and let the universe do its thing. And like, I'm just going to sit here and be pretty. And like, I still believe in all of that, obviously, but that's not the only energy that exists. And whenever you have these dreams and these manifestations, yes, they can flow to you. And yes, you know, you can channel into that energy and become your highest self and all of this wonderful, beautiful, spiritual stuff. But like, you're on Earth. You are here as a human. You have to actually like do the steps, do the things, take the aligned actions in order to actually like bring them into reality and not just live in your head, not just live as a dream. And that's like how things get lost and stuck and people get in this idea of illusion and everything because you don't actually like try to bring it into Earth. Now Taurus is a little more like grounding it in, but Aries is like the initial like spark, the motivation, the energy, and like it pushes you into bringing them into the 3D. Aries is just very, because Saturn's moving into Aries, and Saturn is the component of all of this that's like, let's talk about being realistic. And I feel like I've touched on my ideas of being realistic before because it makes me want to throw up. But the idea of Saturn and realism and karma and boundaries and time and structure and all of this stuff is not to your detriment. I've been playing around with like the idea of realism and reality and, you know, your dreams and reality and where the line blurs and what's realistic and what's not, because we're in the age, which is so lovely, that everybody on TikTok is like, be unrealistic, who gives a fuck, like do whatever you want, be unrealistic, be delusional. And yes, I stand on that 100%. But I think I lean a little bit more logical, ironically, than going with the flow more often than not. I just like the idea of the flow better. But I lean more logical. So when I hear all of that and I see all of that, I'm like, I understand what you're saying. I do. But there's some part of me that doesn't understand how I can also like be in this like delusional flowing state and also get shit done in reality, because I feel like I've only really been on the extremes of either two. And I'm working on walking the line in the middle of them so that I'm not just fully like submerged in the 3D where I feel like a robot in the Matrix and I'm not like floating completely untethered. We're not living in a place where time doesn't exist. We are living in a place where time exists. So because of that, we do have like earthly boundaries and we do have things that we have to navigate, whether you like it or not. Now, the way that you do that is up to you. And you can still be very flowy, delusional, crack into the secrets of the universe, manifest, do your shit. But you have to do it from a human place, from the 3D. And with that doesn't always come what you think it's going to come with. Allow me to explain, and this will summarize my last 2 months. In a moment, you get this light, you get this idea, you get this desire or whatever. You're like, oh my God, yes, that's so right. And then I at least get really excited and I start tail spinning. I start dreaming. I'm like, okay, so this is right. And then this is going to mean this and this is going to mean this. And obviously, and I just start pew, 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 pew. And I create stories about what that feeling means and what that desire means and all of that stuff instead of just feeling what feels right in that moment. So there was also somebody that I was reading, or a TikTok or something, that somebody, no. It was like an artwork page that I follow on Instagram. And they were talking about how the whole point of your desire is not to see the success at the end of it. And the point of having it too is not to have an end goal of it. Like the desire itself is a feeling and it comes from something, but you create the story of what that means. So I had this like spark and this desire that I could relate to like I guess, movement, honestly. I thought it had this whole story and this whole meaning, but really it was just like this fire inside of me that was like, okay, like things are changing, and we're moving along, and we're making progress, and the things that you want to have, like that you want to happen, are finally unfolding. And I was so like desperate for everything to happen next that I clung on to it and was like, okay, well, this means this, and this means this, and this is going to happen like this. And then it didn't work out like that, and I reached a dead end, like a full like dead end, where I'm like, I have tried and I was very good about like, this next phase of my life, I do not want any sort of pushing. I don't want like, I want to feel ease, and not ease and like there's no challenges or any issues, but like, you know what I mean, when like things can still go batshit crazy and you still know that it's right, but forcing something, like just constantly like approaching a dead end and not even like having any sort of confidence or like feeling of ease of like, oh yeah, well, this will play out the way that it needs to, like constantly hitting a dead end and being like, okay, when are we going to accept that this is not how this story is supposed to unfold? Not that like I'm so dramatic where I'm like, nothing worked out and I'm going to lose faith in myself and my dreams and my ideas. And it's like, no, it really just showed me where I was forcing so much of the storyline, and not like the ultimate desire or the ultimate dream or anything like that, but the storyline and how it unfolds. And I guess I just never had seen it so clearly. And the universe the past few months stripped everything away from me so that I could see that very clearly. I am all one for like stillness and quiet time, especially living alone. It makes it really easy, but I also sometimes get lost in the fact that like I do live alone and I am alone a lot of the time, but that doesn't always mean that I'm being still and present and listening, because I'm on my phone or I'm working on something or I'm on the phone with somebody or watching TV, like I discredit my actual quality alone time with myself because I live alone. So I'm alone all the time, and clearly I'm getting all the stillness and rest that I need. And that's not always the case, because you can still really occupy yourself, sometimes even more so when you live alone, and you don't even realize it until, you're kind of forced to just sit. It's like those dead end moments where like you're not freaking out, you're not panicking, but you're just sitting there staring at the wall and you want to do nothing other than stare at the wall because like there is nothing else to do. You can't plan, you can't think, like there's just nothing else for you to do. And I think I totally got off topic, but I don't want to force this next phase of my life at all, and I was starting to force it a lot. And instead of accepting that it wasn't going to unfold in the exact way that I thought, I kept trying to swim upstream with it, and not like a lot, but enough to where I was like, okay, dude, this is clearly something happened that I was like, the timing of this could not have been more insane and more like in your face of, told you this wasn't supposed to happen like this. And I just kind of had to sit back and be like, okay, this isn't what I thought was going to happen, and this isn't how I may have thought this exact time of my life was going to look, but I'm here. And also being gay and sappy and like being so grateful for what is actually around me and what I do have, and all of the doors and opportunities that have opened for me, just maybe not the exact door that I thought. God, the editing on this is going to be horrendous, but whatever. Anyways, I don't really remember what I was saying, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to catch up a little bit, kind of talk about some of the things that I'm moving through. I feel like surrender's been a big theme that I've talked about on the podcast because I like did a lot during eclipse season. And once again, I am reminded of true surrender, and not even surrender like, okay, I'll just sit here and watch it all unfold, but just surrendering to like, maybe there are things that are meant to happen that I haven't even thought of. Hey, maybe if you did this first, or you went this route, or what if this happened, or what if it all does happen, but it just happens in this crazy way that you've never thought. It's like I would just get lost in my head, and I've finally just been like, you know what? At the end of the day, I don't care. I care that I am living a life that I want to wake up to, and that I am living a life that I get to actively participate in, and that's literally it. And I have ideas of how that can happen and dreams, and of course, all of these wonderful ways in which that could unfold for me. But I throw my hands up to trying to have it all figured out and leaving no room for whimsy and fun and flow. And I just, yeah, I feel like I have spent the last year just really like holding on to this perfect way of how this next part of my life is going to be and looking around the corner for it at every moment. That like I also haven't even stopped to breathe. Like this past month I have finally had the opportunity to just like be and enjoy the things around me and be grateful for them. I feel like you can really start to detect patterns. That's why this has been so good. I also stopped like on YouTube because I was doing like a few, YouTube videos here and there. And what really got me to get up and do something was recording 3 videos, and nearly all of them in different months were saying the same thing. And I just was looking at the last one and I like shut my laptop and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I cannot sit and talk about wanting something or like talking about the future or how I wish things would be or anything like that. Like enough is enough. We have got, I have had it. And we can't just sit in sad girl loop and be a victim and be upset. Like I'm all for sitting with your emotions, but it is such a like bitch get up type of energy right now where it's like, okay, cry for 5 minutes and then get the fuck up and move. Like I've been going on runs and like just moving my body because it's like I cannot sit and wallow. I cannot sit and stare at my wounds forever and expect anything to change. And I cannot get lost in stories and all of this stuff that's just in my head that are just coping mechanisms and things from the past, and so anyways, those are the revelations that I'm having. And so I decided to start going ahead and filming for season 2 because I cannot wait for everything to look perfect. Ironically, this is how I started season 1. Girl, it's a pattern. It's a thing. I'm consciously working on it. It's probably never going to go away, but it will get better. Anyways, thank you for listening to episode 1 of season 2. I'm so excited. Pretty Little Liars. I've been watching it. Let's talk about it. I'm obsessed with it. I have not rewatched it. I don't know why I just decided to get into this at the end, but I don't really watch TV, so and I'm home alone, and I live alone, and I have nobody to talk about it with, so I'm going to make you talk about it with me. This is going to be a 50-minute long episode. I'm going to cut it. It's just going to be me talking about Pretty Little Liars the entire time. I'm on season 4 now. And I've never rewatched it. I watched it all as it came out. And then I think I rewatched season 1 at some point in my life, but I have not rewatched the whole series since I was a teenager. Or I haven't rewatched it at all. I haven't seen the series since I was a teenager. And holy fuck. First of all, I don't like Ezra. I don't like him. And it's not because of the weird, teacher-student dynamic, which is really weird and scary, but I don't like him. I don't like his character. I don't like him with Arya. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. I literally love every other relationship so much on that show other than that one. It just aggravates me. I don't like it. And I don't like him. I love Hannah and Caleb. I love Caleb. I love Toby. Ezra's kind of like stale to me, and I'm sorry, but I remember loving them and being like, fuck that. Like, student-teacher relationship, it doesn't matter. But it's not even that. I just don't really enjoy him as a person, but that's fine. I love the other relationships. I think they're amazing. I'm getting into territory where I don't remember anything that happens, because season 1, obviously, season 2, I remembered because that's when Mona was revealed as A. And then I had like a little knowledge of season 3. Like I knew, maybe it was season 2. No, it was season 3. I knew that Toby was like a part of it, but he wasn't really a part of it. And then I know that Ezra's a part of it at some point, I think. But other than that, I don't really remember. Like, I know somebody's got a twin, and I think the twin is the mastermind of everything, but like, I don't even know I don't remember anything. I remember there's a dollhouse. So it's like watching it for the first time, and I am sucked into a TV show for the first time in years. And I'm so happy that it's that, because it's also bringing back my like 2000s nostalgia and the whack ass styles that they put those bitches in. Like, I was over here watching this in high school, and I was wearing a t-shirt to school, and they were, granted, 25 years old, but like done in full glam, stilettos, stepping into their English class. And I was like, damn, I'm really lame. Like, I need to step it up. So, I bought bubble necklaces, and that's what that did. So, um, I I love the nostalgia of it, and like the flip phones. I think Hannah's got an iPhone now. She's upgrading. We're in season 4, but the flip phones and the old acting that's just so dramatic, and it takes them a while to get into character and like get used to each other. But because the first season is so, the acting is crazy, and I love it. It goes on for 7 seasons. That's insane. That is back when they also did not do like oh my god, Jesus, words. They did, okay, take a breath. Okay. They did I just associated. Okay. Wow. Their seasons were 25 episodes long, and they were an hour each, 45, because the commercials. Oh my god, that's so fucking long. Like 25. I think that I if I remember this correctly, I feel like they split the seasons up into 2. Like, there was, because every midpoint episode of Pretty Little Liars has like a finale like episode, and I want to say that they like split that, had that middle one as like a finale, and then a month or 2 later they would start up the next one. So like we were waiting 2 years because they had to film it. It was like they would just film all of it and then release it and then start filming the next one. I mean, they were constantly filming. I could not imagine being in the industry back then, when it was like, you were like, they dedicated their entire lives to that for a really, I'm guessing like 8 or 9 years, 10, however long. That is, and so much of their time, I feel like people are able to have like multiple acting jobs at once now because it's not as demanding, but that was like their whole entire world. You couldn't do you couldn't film a movie and a TV show around the same time or in the same year, which is crazy. But lots of content for me. I know I ate that shit up. Every Tuesday I was sitting there with a bowl of popcorn, just ready to go. On Twitter, live tweeting. That's when we would tweet. Bring that back. I miss that so much, actually. You would refresh, like you'd have a hashtag, and then you would refresh, and like see what everybody's saying, and like live tweet. Oh my god. And like if you had to go to the bathroom, you had to like catch up. Oh my god, that was so much fun. I guess that's streaming. I guess people do that still, but I'm not a part of it. So somebody tell me where I can be a part of something like that, because especially like live, like when the like Mormon Wives come out, and like when the new series drops, like Euphoria, all that, I'm like, I live alone. I need to talk to people. I need to stream with somebody. I need to live something. I don't know, because I love watching TV, but I don't really do it alone, because I just don't love watching TV by myself, because I'll get sucked in, and then it feels really weird when you're by yourself. It's fun when you're with your friends and you have a rot day and you just like binge watch everything, and it's super fun and funny. But when you're by yourself, it's different. It's like kind of lonely and sad, and I don't love the way that I feel. I have to, like, if I give myself a day to do that, I have to like take breaks and like go outside and like socialize or call my mom or something. But I've been getting, this has got me, and I'm doing well with the balance of it. And I leave my house a lot, so that makes it a lot easier. But like during the winter, I didn't really watch a lot other than like YouTube, because I just didn't want to get like sucked in and really dissociate out of reality, because living alone in the winter was lovely, but at times I was like, okay, it's time to venture out. What else is new? I just wanted to talk about Pretty Little Liars, I guess. Oh, no, I'm not done. Ray's new album. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. When I got the notification on Spotify that it had been released, because I was like thinking it was the next day, but of course they drop it at midnight, and I was up because I am, and it was like new release. They drop their shit at midnight, and you are still up, and you get to just like listen from start to finish in the wee hours of the night in the dark. I turned all my lights off. I turned all of my lights off. I put my large headphones on, volume all the way up, press lit. Oh, it was, I was sobbing. I have not connected with that type, well, I have not connected with a work of art like that since, honest to God, Billie Eilish's like, not first album, second album. How many albums does she have? I'm having a stroke. Her second album. Happier Than Ever was her second album, right? Yeah. I have not, like, her Billie Eilish's second album was one that I connected with on such a disgusting level. And I love her third, don't get me wrong, but there was something about that second one that was, oh my God, I never thought I would like feel that kind of attachment to an album before, because that was one that I was like, I'm living this in real time. I am living your exact experiences that you were talking about, and I feel like this is a play about me. This is a play about us. I feel targeted, and in the best way. And this is the first album since then where I have been like, okay, this is speaking to my soul. This is talking to me. And like, this is also something that I needed to hear. I have listened to it on repeat. I wake up, I literally will roll over and start listening to it because it helps me get out of bed. It is the most inspirational, iconic, beautifully directed, written. I feel as though that might be everything I've ever needed from an album and an artist. Ever. And I didn't even know half of the shit that I needed. But she did it. She did all of it, listing every person that had a impact or an influence or worked on the album. Somebody bitched about that, and I was like, you can get fucked, because that was amazing. And somebody else was always like, oh, I don't like how she introduces the song. Bitch, I love it. Was so theatrical and just, oh my God, it spoke. I just sobbed and sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. I still sob. Just listening to, because I didn't listen to any of the singles or anything. I just listened to the whole album like when it came out. And so that was the first time that I heard her song with Hans Zimmer, and I'm having chills just talking about it. That song is breathtaking. It's breathtaking. When I say it has gotten me out of bed, I can't even talk about it. I'll talk about it like more because I'm still feel like I'm like living through it and experiencing it. And I'm so thankful for her artistic genius and that album, because it feels like it documented my entire winter. And now I'm like having a musical companion that is like helping me move through the emotions that I was feeling this winter. And like, I mean, it just became spring. I'm still kind of moving through them. So it feels like having a guide with me that's just like, this is here to help you process everything that you just went through. Let's emotionally work through it together. Anyways, I could go on and fucking on about that, because I am just so grateful for music right now, because I feel like there was a little bit of a time where I didn't connect with music as much as I used to, and that felt so dull. That felt so dull. And it's like when you lose your spark and everything around you kind of starts to get dull, and you're like, am I ever going to feel bright again? Am I ever going to feel connected to art and music in the way that I once did, where I felt like I was being reflected in it and I felt like my soul was moving through it? Am I ever going to find that again? Am I ever going to listen to something that like rips my heart out in the best way again? You know, I started listening to the saddest songs in the entire world because I was like, is this gonna do anything? I'm going to like the depths. I'm going to fucking Celine Dion. I'm pulling out the big guns. I'm like, the songs that I refused to listen to, I was like, we're gonna have to sit down and listen to these so I can feel something. And so to like have this album be released, and since then I feel like I've just been finding more and more and more music, especially smaller artists. Bella K, is that her name? The one that sings I Love It, I Love It. Iconic, incredible, amazing, all of her songs, steady, beautiful, The Sick, insane. I hope Bella K is her name. Been listening to them on repeat. I'm so sorry, neighbors. Also, Ethel Kane, have been going down that road again because that is always the thing that I can get to stir up my feelings and emotions, and it did just that. So those have been my hyperfixations lately with music. Anything else I'm hyperfixating on? No, we covered it. Aries energy, hyperfixating on. Pretty Little Liars, hyperfixating on. Ray, Bella K. Is that her name? I hope so. There's going to be a part in the YouTube version where it's just going to be a blackout screen with the voice over it because I'm not re-recording that, and I'm also not going to panic and freak out. It's just going to be what it's going to be. Hey, we're doing our best out here. It's all fun. It's all fun and games, and nothing really matters. You know, we're just here to have a good time. Yeah, so this is season 2. I have no idea what is going to unfold, and I'm really excited. I feel like this is going to be a really a season where I watch a lot change. And I think I'm going to be grateful that I did that instead of waiting for the change to happen and then doing the thing. Because part of this is I want to look back on my growth as a human and get to watch it evolve and unfold. So I'm really excited for that. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here. And season 2 is going to be really sick. And I can't wait for all the adventures and fun and new things. So yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for listening. I will be back next week. Bye.